Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, and this is my 2021 season in review. So we're going to take a look at the season that just ended, where Montreal just so close to getting that big prize. So we fell just a little short, and so we're going to go over the season. And I say we because this time I don't have to look around the room because there's going to be more than one person in this video, so I'm not going crazy. So that's always good to know. So we're going to take a look at the season, and we're going to go back. Although first, I didn't do a review for the last game, so I'm going to kind of do a really quick look at that. We will, and then we're going to go over and take a look at the season from the beginning in the off season last year with the acquisitions of the new players. We're going to go over the season, the ups and downs, and the roller coaster ride that we had. And then we're going to go through the rounds of the playoffs and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. And with me, I've got guests, people that you are, although we're missing one, as I can see in the green room. So we'll bring him in last. we're going to go with, I'll go with first, that is next to me. From the United States of America, we got ourselves Matt. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Good. How's it going, everybody?
It's only me and you yet. Not everybody here yet. We also have from the island of Alcatraz, Newfoundland, is Delaney.
Hello.
How's it going? And we're going to have to bring our other guy in a minute because it's an empty chair there, and I don't want to do that. So guys, we're going to talk about the stuff we talked about 5 minutes ago. We're going to talk about that stuff. Yeah, we're just going to go over basically the whole season and give our thoughts on what happened. And we're going to try to do this all in a reasonable amount of time. And we're going to do that.
Quick, concise answers.
Hopefully with concise answers. If not, I'll just hit that button that says remove, and then you're gone. And we'll go on. We'll bring in the next guy after that. So no pressure, though. No pressure, guys. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'd like to introduce to you. Oh, God, I wanted to do the Beatles thing from Sgt. Pepper's. I couldn't do it. Jeez, I used to know that. Because he'd love it. Because, honestly, this next guest, his favorite group, even though he doesn't admit it, is the Beatles. And with that is Jeff.
So
that's a bit of an inside joke, but yeah. Okay, so guys, stop making jokes now because we gotta get serious. No, so we're going to talk about the season, and before we do get into that, two things. One is, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Bring that don't bring the notifications home. That's not going to work. Ring the notifications bell. That'll get you your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge right here at Talking Habs. And if you have any comments about anything that we talk about in this video, leave that comment in the comment section. And as I mentioned, give a thumbs up. I did. So we're gonna go all through all this. The other thing that I wanted to mention, I don't remember at this point, so it must not have been important. So what I did want to mention, we're gonna go over the last game of the season, which was the Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals, in which Montreal did not win, obviously, or we'd have Game 6. So we're going to talk about it. It was a 1-0 victory by Tampa Bay, which was their fifth shutout in a Stanley Cup series clinching game. So 5 series in a row, they've won their last game of that series by a shutout. And we were hoping that wouldn't happen here. But it wasn't a blowout, which I don't know. For me, that's pleasing in that they didn't get blown out in the last game. So, they gave Tampa as much as they could right up until the last minute. That's how I look at it. Quickly, how do you guys feel on that? Matt, since you're on top, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, look, going into it, we knew Tampa was a much better team. We were all optimistic. We wanted to, we wanted to win the series, but just came down to it. Tampa's a better team. It's disappointing, but there's a lot of positives to take from it. Going into next season.
I think so too. Delaney, you're next.
The better team won. They
Yeah.
outplayed us for
Yeah.
the most part, but we kept it close. I'm proud of them.
But in all, well, I guess real, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it doesn't necessarily have to happen that way. That the better team going into a Stanley Cup final doesn't have to win, and but in this case, it is true. Jeff, what did you think about whatever I asked? We have no. Oh, there he is.
I don't know. It's kind of what I expected, but it kind of sucks that they didn't get the results they deserved in a couple of the games. It could have been a totally different series after, I think it was game 2 that they dominated.
Was it game 2 or 3? Where that second period?
I think it was game 2.
It was game
I
2.
think so too, right? Yeah. I mean, that could have been a 2-2 series going into game 5.
Could at least been a 1-1 split after.
True.
But the one narrative that I don't really buy into, that a lot of people have really clung to in this, is Montreal was an underdog. Montreal didn't belong there. I don't believe that, because when you spend to the cap and over the cap, then you are going for it. So how are you an underdog? Like how?
No, they were the underdog. That they were.
Only because Tampa was the defending champs and basically were the better team. But at the same time, like, for Montreal to back into the playoffs the way they did with
Montreal was the underdog, but they were 100% deserving of being in the finals. But they were the underdog. I'm just saying, I don't think that's not the same thing.
Yeah, but they spent to the cap. Like, when you spend the cap, that means you've used all your resources.
They were the 16th place team going into the playoffs, and Tampa was somewhere
18th place team.
18th, yeah.
No, but I mean in the playoffs. So once the 16 teams, they were the 16th team in the playoffs.
Which they shouldn't have been.
No, but they were, right? So,
right.
And then Tampa was near, top 5? They weren't number 1, but they were top 5 going in. With all the seedings, they were one of the teams that had a bye, top 4.
Yeah, they were top 4 in the
top 4. So, just right there, Montreal was the underdog.
I get that, but I mean, at the same time, like, what we saw on the ice wasn't like Tampa.
100%.
Yeah, they won every game. They won 4 out of 5 games, but they didn't dominate every game. So it wasn't like Montreal was like this complete Cinderella story, right? Like, and Montreal.
No, that they were too, but that they kind of were a Cinderella story. But it doesn't mean that they weren't deserving of being in the finals, which is what your point is, and I agree with you on that 100%. They got there by being good. Yeah. Plain and simple.
They got good at the right time.
At the right time. That's what you call peaking at the right time.
I mean, they were dominant the first of the year. And then they crapped the bed, and then they...
Yeah, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Actually, yeah, because we're going to get to that, because this was just the introduction. I want to just go over the game, and then we're going to get to that exactly where you were at with the season and how it started and all that stuff. So yeah, we're going to segue. We need music. All right, so I have something here that I want to show. Yeah, I want to show this. So we're just going to quickly look at this and the stats. Just quick, I want everybody's impression, I guess, of that game. So I'll go over the stats, give you my thoughts, and then we'll get into you guys. So the shots on goal, 30-22 for Tampa. So they did outshoot us. Montreal was having trouble, I think, most of the series being the winning the shots totals, right?
And the hits.
Face-up, and the hits, too. Face-off percentage, 48% for Montreal, 52%. Not that far off. You know, they were close that way, and they started out going into the series. They were both very close. Montreal was actually ahead of them in that number. No playoff power play goals, so Montreal hadn't been scoring a lot of power play goals or a lot of scoring, and their PK was still good because they held them off the board that way. And then the hits was 48 hits for Canadians and 56 by Tampa, and Tampa was getting good hits. I thought they were pretty effective in most of the games with their physical play. Although there was a game where Montreal was out hit by Tampa, but I thought Montreal had the better of the physicality of the game. So, but in this game, I don't know. I don't know. We'll get into that in a sec. The goal was basically a defensive breakdown, in my opinion, by the two defensemen on the ice, who were Sherratt and Edmondson. Sherratt didn't cover the guy who passed the puck, McDonough, and Edmondson wasn't able to stop Colton from getting his stick on the damn puck, right? Which he should have. He was all over the guy, bigger than the guy, and he couldn't stop him. So to me, that's what I think. So without going through more in this game, because there's no need, and it's been 4 days. So what do you guys think of what I just said there? Like the only goal, a defensive breakdown, right?
That was kind of what plagued them the whole series, really.
Yeah. Well, that and not being able to score on their own goals, but yeah. But I mean, that was a defensive breakdown there.
Look at how many goals Tampa scored like that. Just a 2-on-1 cross crease. I mean, that was their bread and butter. Like,
yeah.
You have to know that's coming. You have to know, like, if there's a guy crashing the net, you have to have your stick on the ice or boot him out of the way.
Yeah.
You know the pass is coming across. It's just, I think for me, it was one of those things that they had to learn, and I don't know, for whatever reason they still couldn't figure it out.
There was, in my opinion, like the Montreal they adjusted well from game to game, but there was just things that I think were inherently wrong with the team that they weren't going to be able to adjust to against a team like Tampa Bay. And I think the defensive breakdowns, which we saw a lot during the season, was one of those things that when everything's clicking, it's fine, but when it starts to break down a little bit, it's hard to mend the fence, right?
The ease with which Tampa was getting into their zone and just transitioning on offense, the ease that they did it was.
And the other thing was just the lack of goal scoring. Like that's been our problem for years. So, and
that's the biggest thing here. The biggest thing you can point to is the fact that there was a 5-game series. Montreal scored 5 goals, and 3 of them were in one game.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. Delaney, what did you think?
It just sucked. But, I mean, we never scored any goals, so it didn't matter. At the end of it, we just didn't have an answer for him.
Yeah.
As quick as we would score, something would happen. We'd have some kind of stupid turnover, and Tampa would capitalize on their opportunity.
Yeah, with ease they capitalize. And I don't know if it was the same for you, but since I was on live doing the live stream, game 1, it didn't take me long, if you remember. Oh, man, this Tampa team looks good. And Jeff was right. He was telling me that for a good week or two, that wait till they have to face a team like Tampa or Vegas. But Vegas, you were wrong on in the end. But Tampa, you were definitely not, because they were just the better team. And that's what happened.
The tape-to-tape passes was what I noticed more than anything. Just the ease of, like, they could connect 2 passes in a row, no problem.
It's hard to talk about that.
Yeah.
Last game and not get into the whole series. So if you wanted to actually do a review, we might as well start the review.
No, we're going to get into this still again when we get to round 4. So that's fine. I just wanted to touch on the game. So we get into that game in depth a little bit, but then we're going to touch on the series coming up. So wait, we're going to get to that. So say it. Well, sorry.
Oh, that one last note on the game. It was a great goalie duel.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Price definitely found his game for the last 2, refound it to the elite level, and that was really good.
It definitely showed that having a goaltender like a Brian Hayward back in the day when we were younger and Rick was somewhat younger, that it comes in handy when you can take the load off of your starter
Yeah.
and get him some rest throughout the long season to keep fresh.
Yep. Yeah.
So the work of Jake Allen of the season.
Just because he didn't play in the playoffs doesn't mean he wasn't important.
Mm.
All right. So that's going to bring us to the season. So let's talk about the season and how it kind of unfolded, right? So it kind of started with the offseason acquisitions of Jake Allen was the first one. And then I don't remember the order. I think it was Edmondson, Toffoli. No. Allen, Anderson, Edmondson, Toffoli. I think that's how they came in, right?
And then Perry, or when did?
No, Perry was right just before during the preseason stuff, I think, wasn't he? Then we got Perry, and then the other guys came in later. So plus we also had the arrival of Romanov. So that's how the season started. Started with promise of these new guys and what some controversy in the contract to Anderson. I think we all commented. Like I know me and Jeff talked about the Anderson contract, that I know. Do you remember what your stance was, Jeff, back then? You were okay with it, if I'm correct?
I didn't like the 7 years, but
right.
There's kind of a thing in there, I think, where Montreal can get out of this contract after 4 or 5 years.
No, it's not that. It's that his salary after 5 years is next to nothing. It'll be very tradable contract.
Yeah, they can trade him pretty easy after the 4th or 5th
it'll be very
season.
Tradable contract.
But right now, do I think Josh Anderson is a dynamic player that's going to lead this team? No, I don't. But I think he can be exactly what Gallagher is, only with size, and be a driving force for the team. But I don't think he's going to be like an elite goal scorer.
No, but he drives the offense on that line that with his size and speed, he kind of drives that offense. Yeah. And if you have Suzuki and Caulfield, well, I saw someone put it this way with that line.
You can never have too many guys that play like Gallagher.
Right. No, but I saw somebody on that line, how they all bring it together, and I'm sidetracking, I know, but if you look at them, like on their different strengths and weaknesses on the line, right? So you've got Suzuki, who pretty much has the full game, right? Like a 200-foot game, can score goals, he can set up plays. You got Anderson, who can score goals, he can skate like the wind, and he's got the physicality. And then you got not the big goal scorer, I shouldn't say.
But he'll still not the
playmaking,
20 or so goals.
Not the playmaking, but he's got everything else. And on the other side, you got Caulfield, who can pass the puck. He's better than people think. Scores goals, but he doesn't have the physical side. Can't really win the puck. But if you put them all three together, we lost Delaney. He'll be back. If you put them all three together, that's a pretty well-balanced line. That's a pretty good, effective line. I like that going forward. Those three guys.
He's definitely an above-average player, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I love what he brings to the team, and I criticized at the time. I thought we paid too much for him. I was worried about his injury history and stuff like that. But at the same time, I was like, man, it's what Montreal has needed for years.
He delivered.
A big, fast winger, and that's what he was.
As long as he could deliver and stay healthy enough I think he delivered on. I think he did. He could have had more offense. I would have liked a little more offense, but you know what? He still was a really important part of. He was a really important part of the team, and he is going to be going forward.
Segue. One of my favorite players in the league is Tyler Toffoli, and Anderson has actually become my favorite Hab. Even though Toffoli was one of my favorite players in the league and he became a Hab, I actually like Anderson better than Toffoli now.
The excitement Anderson can deliver every game. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's touch on Toffoli because we got Anderson. Toffoli came in. Toffoli came in. Definitely, Jeff was happy. I was happy with that. I know Montreal had been looking to get him for a few years. And so they finally landed him, and they landed him at a great price.
Right, yeah, I was going to say that honestly is one of the best contracts, I think, in the league right now.
Yeah, they landed him.
It's such a good deal. And, I mean, he was on an absurd goal pace this season, but still, out of him, you can definitely expect 25, 30 goals.
Yeah,
a year.
yeah, definitely. I mean,
You
that's
know,
the
and
number.
well, what's he making, about $4 million, a little over that?
4.25.
Anderson?
Yeah,
No,
Toffoli.
we're on Toffoli
Yeah,
now.
I think that's
Foley?
Yeah,
a great deal.
yeah. No, it's a great deal.
Even if he's only a 20-goal scorer next year, like that contract's still pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
For the amount that he's getting, yeah, definitely. We got him for 3 more years as well. We brought in, Jake Allen. I think did we say anyway? We know Jake Allen, what he's done. Who was the other guy? Joel Edmondson, who people were not happy with when Joel Edmondson got signed completely. And I remember saying that I think people will be very happy with him by the end of the season. And I think I was right. I didn't know for sure, but everything I could read and everything about him, I was really confident this guy would come in and do exactly what he was supposed to do. He did. So Edmondson, how were you guys? Each of you were on Edmondson when we got him. You weren't a big fan, Jeff, if I'm correct.
I didn't really care. I just didn't think. I just figured he was a depth piece and brought a Stanley Cup experience, and I just figured he would be not as good as Sherratt, but he ended up being a little better than Sherratt. So,
yeah. What about you, Delaney?
First off, Anderson, wasn't sure about how healthy he was going to be. Being healthy was my thing. Toffoli, loved it for what he's worth. Perfect steal. Edmondson, like Jeff said, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
He didn't excite me.
And now?
I was surprised. I like
Nice.
him and Sherratt. So,
Matt, what do you think? What did you think of Edmondson coming in?
So I was honestly pretty happy when he was coming in. I figured he'd be a depth guy, but I knew just from watching him with Carolina and with St. Louis, he'd be a no nonsense, like do his job. You won't notice him much because he's not flashy, but I knew he would come in and do his job. So I figured he'd be a solid depth piece for the defensive core, which is what we needed, and I think he overachieved, and I'm glad we have him.
I don't think he overachieved. When we got him, I had to do because of the video. I would have to do. Yeah, no. Listen, this guy. He had not the pedigree, but I mean, he had the background. This guy was a top 4 defenseman his whole career, except the first season when he was a bottom pairing guy. Yeah, and I was very confident from what I'd read from all his teammates and all that. Yeah, I was good with him. And I thought we'd be very happy with him. And it turns out we are.
You were also happy with getting John Merrill, and I was like, who cares?
I mean, wait a second. Not in the same vein as that, but I thought Merrill might actually do okay here, but no.
I figured when we got Merrill, I just figured, okay, there's insurance in case somebody gets hurt. But
that's what I thought it would be, but it turned out they wanted to play him more than we should have. Who else did we bring in?
Corey Perry.
Right. I guess that's the other guy that we brought in other than Romanov, who was it's his first season. But yeah. So then we brought in Corey Perry. So that's obviously interesting because I know for both Jeff and I, we did not like Corey Perry to start with. And I wasn't that happy, but I thought, good for the playoffs. That I'll give him that. And then, man, Perry turned me around on him. I absolutely love the guy now. I think what he's done here in Montreal. I love what he's done, and I just think it was a great acquisition for what they're paying him, what he brought to the. Exactly right. Me and Jeff both. I put out a video. I don't like him, but listen, I'm turned around on him. So we know how me and Jeff thought about him. I have a feeling both you guys had different opinions. So we'll start with Delaney. What did you think of Perry when we got him?
Absolutely brilliant move.
Yeah, if I remember.
Not expensive. Apparently was a Habs fan. Proven winner. Proven captain material. Go-getter. Good Canadian boy.
Yeah.
What winning teams are built on.
True. And he turned out he was a Habs fan growing up, turns out.
Yeah, but he wanted to sign with the Leafs first.
Okay, but maybe there was a reason for that not just because that's who he grew up loving. Matt, what did you think of Perry coming in?
Yeah, I mean, I was happy with it. I figured, vet minimum, no harm, no foul. Good bottom six guy. He'll help, teach the young guys a little bit, and he'll just be a good, great piece. Loves being in the front of the net. I mean, creates absolute havoc.
Yep.
And like I said, on that deal, and it sounds like, just sticking with the Corey Perry theme, going into, this offseason, it sounds like he wants to come back. Doesn't really care about the money anymore. He just wants to have fun. So I say, what the hell? Bring him back. Give him another vet minimum deal, $700K, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'd even give him $1 million.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anyway. I don't think he's coming back for less than $1 million.
But even still, $1 million, I think I wouldn't. That's
you waste $1 million on more.
Still not going to hurt. That's a contract that won't hurt.
No, not at all.
Almost any.
I'll say this about him: I don't like him because I never liked him in his days in Anaheim because I thought he was a dirty player. I thought he took way too many stupid penalties. He didn't do any of that in Montreal.
Yeah.
But the one thing I can say, like, he looks slow in that finals.
Right.
Well, yeah.
And he's what, 36?
Yeah.
He is slow, but what he does have, he knows how to think the game. He knows where to be like that. He puts that to really good use, and that's how he makes it up. But
Still has great hands
slow.
too. He's real nifty with the puck.
Yeah.
And he's his shot a little bit too.
His last 2 seasons, like that greasy part of his game, it's not really there. Like, he still plays the mind games and stuff with his opponents, but he's not really doing that greasy, dirty stuff that the reason why I didn't like him. But
it's, me too.
Every game, it seemed like especially the first 3/4 of the season, every game, there was always one Perry moment in the game where he was in front of the net and made a nice tip or a nice pass or something. Yeah. Made something happen. Yeah. And I can't fault him on that. As much as I didn't like the way he used to play the game.
Yeah, and the dumb penalties went away. I can't maybe one he might have had that I would say is a dumb penalty, but in general, Perry didn't take dumb penalties this year at all. Well, I was impressed by that because that's one thing I did not like about him. So.
And we needed another net front presence guy, screen the goalie. I mean, because we got D-men that can unleash absolute rockets from the point. We just needed guys to get in front of the net.
And it was another Stanley Cup ring brought in, which we saw the difference, right? Toronto, no Stanley Cup rings brought in.
Right, he ought to take his agent out for dinner.
That experience really paid off.
Toronto.
That experience really paid off there.
Instead, they brought in the ultimate joker and Joe Thornton.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean,
and Joe Thornton, you said he's like, I'm going to go to Toronto because I want to win a Stanley Cup. Crap.
So is that the segue into round one, or
no? Not yet. No. So now I'm getting there now. So now we've got these new additions, and I honestly don't remember. We didn't have a preseason. Is that what happened? We didn't have a preseason, right? No preseason, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, they played the leagues, didn't they?
We might have preseason. I don't remember a lot about the preseason, if there was one or if there were at all, right? So season starts, and all the promise that, because I know I was all big on, they're going to be great. They're going to lead the division. I had this high hopes. Season starts, and first 10 games, wow.
They look great. Phenomenal.
I was looking great for my predictions, and it was great. Now, we had a lot of fun doing those games. What did you guys think from that first 10 games? We'll start with Matt.
I honestly was a bit shocked. I didn't think, because I think they were going to take a little bit of time to gel with the new additions and kind of build chemistry. I didn't think they were going to come in and right off the bat just start going on a reign of terror. And I was like, okay, this looks great. And then the middle of the season came, and I'm going,
we're not there.
Yeah. But no, at the beginning, I thought they looked great. I was thinking, I mean, I think easy maybe top 3. I mean, I thought for sure they would at least make top 3. I thought they'd be the playoff team. I had, zero doubts about making the playoffs.
Yeah, the ghost is back though. The devil. It's me that I'm hearing. So Jeff, I know how you felt. What did you think of that first 10 game?
I mean, I'm not going to say for sure. but I knew it was fool's gold. I knew not to believe it.
I'm with
But-
you, Jeff. I was like, I've seen this before.
Yeah, I've seen this multiple
It's
times.
like that Christmas road swing where they go through Carolina and
Yeah.
Florida. That's what I was waiting for, because that's like our turning point. We have that suck part then once we used to go to Florida and the Carolinas towards Christmas break.
No, the
So-
West Coast swing. It was the West Coast swing
Plus-
usually.
plus- But the thing was with this was like I wasn't holding my breath on it because it's like we haven't played everybody in the division yet. Like we played Vancouver a bunch of times.
Vancouver,
We only-
we beat the hell
Right.
out of them.
right? Like,
yeah.
so I was like, let's see how they do against Edmonton. Let's see how they do against the Leafs again. But I mean, by that time, the whole the bandwagon, the freight train was on its way. Like people were going crazy, and I was just like, I don't know if I believe this yet, but
And
that's just me.
The scoring was what we were scoring 5-6. I think we were
Yeah.
over 5 goals a game, or right around 5 goals a game.
Yeah, it was pretty.
It was crazy the first, and then does anybody remember what caused the turnaround, like the drop off? I don't. Was it an injury?
No, well, maybe,
I was
but I just remember. I know some people hate Norman Flynn there. That's always on Tony.
Norman Flynn,
yeah, they hate him, but he made some great points. He's like, this team. He said at the first of the year was in better game condition than every other team. He said they were like, you could tell, like they had legs in the third period where other teams didn't at the first of the year. And he said, and then everybody get into game shape, and then it just petered off some. He said it wasn't anything the Habs did wrong. It was just at the first of the year they were so dominant because they were in better shape.
And then we had the drop off with Price, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah,
All that stuff with not getting his rhythm, playing enough games. I remember that. Yeah.
but didn't Suzuki go on a slump too, though?
Yeah, at that point, Suzuki was a point-to-game player and was looking really good. And I think everybody, the whole team, except maybe Toffoli, because Toffoli was pretty steady through the season.
Toffoli was
Although not really. Not really.
In
that first drop-off. No, but in that first drop-off, I remember we were worried that, like, because he wasn't scoring the first few
It was
games.
only Vancouver.
It was only Vancouver, and then he started to score again, and then it was against anybody. Yeah, so the drop-off came, and then, I don't know, did they even recover at any point after that? There was no point in the season after that where they ever looked like those first 10 games, except for maybe a game or two in a row. That's it.
Mhm.
The season was a complete roller coaster, up and down, up and down, and up and down. But this team, to me, in my opinion, shoot me if you want to, never really fully did what they needed to do until they had their backs absolutely against the wall.
Yep.
And that trend carried through all season, right through the playoffs. And then the magic ran out against Tampa. But they had a little spark there with game 4, so right. But it was like this team was just they couldn't
put it together.
It's like they couldn't get the adrenaline up or something until they were literally desperate.
Do you remember how many weeks it was where they didn't win 2 games in a row?
Oh God, it was a while.
It was like 5
It was
weeks.
like a good chunk of the middle. It was
5
a good
weeks?
chunk of the season. Yeah.
I think it was like 5 weeks. There was a 5-week period where they couldn't win 2 games in a row. Never mind getting a streak going at all.
I don't
And
think
that
they could
was the
score
big
3
problem.
goals either.
That was true. That was the big problem, was this 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 win, 2 losses. Right? That's why we couldn't
Overtime losses.
Yeah, overtime. So we get a point, but not the win. And yeah, it was a big problem. And it didn't stop all season. And they literally almost backed into the playoffs. Remember, we were all talking about how disappointed we were going to be if that's how they kind of make it into the playoffs by backing in.
Into the playoffs.
Remember, they couldn't get that point at the end. They just couldn't get that clinching point to make the playoffs. To the last 2 games.
What'd you say, Delaney?
Sorry.
So I kind of felt like they did back into the playoffs.
Oh, they definitely did.
Well, they did, but they got that clinching point on their own.
Yeah, but it took them like 3 or 4 games to get it.
Oh, well, yeah, without a doubt. No, without a doubt. No, without a doubt.
I can't remember
very
exactly.
Frustrating season. It was just
People
a
in
very
the comments
frustrating.
can tell me, point me where I'm saying things wrong. I mean,
Well, they will. That's what the comment section's for.
right? Like, but man, like we're going off the cuff here, and it's just by memory, and I just kind of like the season was just like I said, it was such a roller coaster of a ride that
It was.
almost ended in at the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Like,
So I hope you like that. Please check out the other parts in this 4-part series. Give a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe, and ring the notifications bell to get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge right here at Talking Habs. Hit the join button and join the membership for weekly members-only content. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe out there, and peace out, y'all. Hey, everybody. I'm Rick. Thanks for clicking that. Oh, fuck. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. So in this video, I'm going to review the game last night between the Montreal Canadiens and the Winnipeg Jets. That was game 2. Yeah. Hey everybody. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. In this video, I am going to review that great game last night between the Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Senators. Woohoo! That worked. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. In this video, no. Hey everybody. Oh, I screwed myself. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Thanks for Hey everybody, my name is, I don't even know what my name is. All right, now we're. Hey everybody. Okay, so today.